And thank you if you're in the chat. You're listening to Occupy the Media. Don't forget that in the next hour coming up, we do have Lori Steen that's going to be on the radio. She was a Ron Paul supporter that got punched by the Romney supporters. She's going to let us know what exactly went down with that. So if you're in the chat, if you're listening, please spread the word. We got about another 15, 20 minutes before she comes on. So let everybody know out there that wants to know what went down to tune in to RonPaulRadio.com. Okay, so what I was talking about before the break, going a little crazy there about us booing, us making noise, doing what we have to, talking about the email from Jesse Benton and the campaign. People are unaware, are just unsure about what to think, what to do, what's next. And what I say is you keep it moving like nothing ever happened. You keep it going. Don't get soft on them. Don't stop with the wave sign and don't stop with the phone from home. Don't stop with it, because now it doesn't even matter if Ron Paul, even if Ron Paul was trying to stop it, he can't even stop it. And if Ron Paul can't stop it, nobody can stop it. So we need to make sure we're doing that. Now, I want to get real quick in the last segment, talk about name of my show, why I call Occupy the Media, and what I'm talking about. We got to understand that everything that we do is to get attention to our cause. I don't care if you're out there protesting Monsanto, you're protesting health freedoms, you're fighting against police brutality, against the Fed, you're anti-war, whatever it is. When you go out and you protest, or you go out door to door, or you pass out newspapers or brochures, whatever, what are you doing that for? You're doing that so you can get more people aware. You're trying to wake more people up, right? You're trying to make more people aware. Now, why are you having to do that? Because the media won't do that for you. They're not going to tell people what they need to know, because there's a lot of things going on that the average American has no idea about. Okay? Even with the internet getting bigger, even with all the alternative media, we still, money bombs, we do everything we can to try to get our message out. So what I'm trying to say is that the media is the biggest hurdle that we have. I don't care what it is you're fighting for. I don't care what it is that tugs at your heart. For some people, it's the Federal Reserve. Some people, it's the war. Some people, it's the IRS. Whatever. The reason why you feel so passionate about it is because the media won't expose it themselves. The media protects the 1%. They protect the IRS, the Fed, the governments, the politicians. And why is that? Because they protect the perception. As long as the perception is a certain way, the way they want it, then it's going to be okay. I'll give you an example. The average American's perception of Obama is that he's a good person, maybe a good president or a bad president. But they look at him as a regular person, an individual. They may not agree with him. They may not like him, but he's a president. He's a person. They like him or they don't like him. Whereas people like Ron Paul supporters, we look at Obama as a war criminal. We look at him as somebody you would look at, as the way you would look at a prisoner, somebody who's locked up in jail for doing something horrible to somebody or doing horrible acts of violence. That's how I and a lot of us look at Obama. Why is that? Because we know that is the correct way he should be viewed. But why don't most people view him that way? The average person, again, even people that won't vote for him, even people that don't go out to his rallies, they still don't view him the same way we do. Why is that? Because of the perception. The perception the media keeps up with everything. You know, most people don't know about the Federal Reserve. Why? Because the perception is printing money is okay. That is, it's not the end of the world. They've been doing it for years. That's the perception. Okay? But see, if the perception was on a daily basis on the news, and everybody knew this, if the perception was Obama could assassinate American citizens, our dollar could crash pretty much any year now, that we're creating more terrorists with blowback by being over there in other people's foreign land. If this was the perception, we wouldn't have to be out here doing all this. We wouldn't have to be on Ron Paul Radio. We wouldn't have to be out in the streets knocking on doors, waving signs. We wouldn't have to do any of that, because the people would be smart by default. They would be educated by default, just by them laying on their couch, cutting on their TV, and hearing the truth. Instead of hearing about gay marriage 10,000 times in one day, I want to hear about NDAA 10,000 times in one day. And imagine what that does. What happens? You change the perception. And as the perception changes, the people change. And now that the majority of the people have changed, they can't get away with what they're doing. They only get away with the atrocities like drones, killing innocent people, massacres going on in Afghanistan, Monsanto, CISPA. They get away with these things because people are unaware of these things. I sent my friend, an Obama supporter, I sent him a video showing kids that were getting videos of kids and people that got hurt by drones that we sent. He said, how do you know that's us? How do you know we're the ones that bombed it? Maybe they bombed their own country. And that's what I'm saying. It's that perception. It's being in denial. And that's what we fight against. That's our biggest hurdle. Go out on a table. Go do a tabling event outside right now and tell me how many people, how many sheep you come across before you meet a Ron Paul supporter. A ton of them. It's sad. It's heartbreaking, but it's true. We are the majority in the Republican Party. We are not the majority in the country. I'm sad to say that we are a strong minority. The majority of the country are sheep and don't know what's going on. They got good intentions. They got a good heart, but they're misled. And some of them are in denial, so they're not going to change. Why is that? Again, because of the perception. So we got to change the perception. Once we change that, it makes it easy for us now. Instead of going to conventions with a few hundred people there, now it's going to be looking like a concert. It's going to be thousands of people there, even people that ain't delegates. There's going to be tons of them there because now everybody caught on. The conventions right now should be the hottest thing going on, like the playoffs. But no, everybody's watching the playoffs, basketball game, football game, all the stuff that don't matter. So if we can tap into the airwaves, occupy the media, and speak to the masses, then it's a wrap. The revolution will come. Not overnight, but it's the next closest thing. But what are we doing? We got people protesting Wall Street. We got people protesting the banks. We got people protesting Congress, the White House, whatever it may be. What I'm saying is, why don't all of us come together and protest the one organization or group of people that protect the criminals? And that's the media. Remember, without the media, the 1%, the people that run everything, whatever you want to call them, they are nothing. They are nothing without the small people. Like Bill O'Reilly, people like that. They do the dirty work. These people you see on TV, they do the dirty work for the 1% because they talk to the people, they spit the propaganda, they do the interviews, they do the dirty work. You know what I'm saying? And they don't care because they're protected. They're getting money. They're going to White House correspondence dinners, chilling. They all cool. Ain't nothing wrong with them. So what happens, though? Once we expose them, start calling for the firing of Bill O'Reilly and start calling for the firing of all these people up there, maybe even press legal charges, once they realize that they're no longer protected, they no longer do the work. And once they no longer do the work for the 1%, what happens? They self-destruct. And that's it. Now, I can't see how anybody can disagree that the media isn't the biggest problem we have, not just in this country, but in the world. So what I'm saying is we're all missing the target. The target is the media. Become your media. That's why we got Ron Paul Radio. That's why we got wonderful hosts on this station. You need to make sure you're staying tuned all day, every day. If you can't support the cause, Ron Paul Radio needs to be everywhere. We got to become all media. And then we got to occupy the media. They got the masses. They got the majority of the people. Anybody can cut on CNN, MSNBC. If there's breaking news on there, in a matter of minutes, the whole country and the whole world can know about something. Think about how fast that news spread about Michael Jackson, right? They put that on the news all day, every day. Breaking news, boom, boom, boom. Well, what if it's breaking news all day, every day that, that George Bush is charged with war crimes? George Bush just got charged with war crimes in Malaysia. I reported it yesterday. Him, Dick Cheney, Donald Rumsfeld. Where is that on the news? Nope, nowhere. So what if that was breaking news all day, every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Imagine if that was playing for the next week, all day, every day. And how many people found out about that and knew about that? Because the media has that much power. And the people that control the media know that. Their biggest weapon is not the drone. It's not the bomb. It's not the guns. It's none of that. It's the media. It's information. Because information controls the masses. That's how the masses come up with their beliefs. That's how we come up with our religions and what we believe. So if we're being lied to, and we're not going to find out that we're being lied to, we're believing a bunch of lies, and so we're living in a fantasy world. But perception is everything. Anyways, we're running at the end of the hour. Stay tuned. We got my guest coming up.